Welcome to the French Newfie. I'm Erin MacDonald. Today I'm going to be making fried tomatoes. Now, growing up, one of my favorite movies was fried green tomatoes, and I just seem to have a hard time finding green tomatoes all the time. So I'm basically going to use an unripened tomato, and I guess the reason that they use green tomatoes in the recipe is that they didn't know how to or what to do with the tomato before it was ripe. And you can also find a green tomato, and that's a specific variety of green tomato, but that's not the ones that are typically used for the fried green tomatoes. However, like I said, I'm just going to use an unripened one. You can see it's nice and firm. It doesn't have any give when you push your finger into it, and it's still a little bit yellow, so it's going to hold up and not break apart in my pan. Now, before I do that, I'm going to get some nice olive oil down. I have my pan going because I want it to be nice and hot. I'm going to do almost like a shallow fry for these tomatoes. And then I'm going to get a little bit of butter, just for a little bit of decadence. And I don't want my butter to burn, so the oil is going to help out there. So that's already going really nice and hot, which is what I want. Be careful not to splatter yourself. And I'm going to move on quickly to my tomato. So I have a serrated edge knife, and I really like to use that for my tomatoes. It just goes through really well. And I want to make them nice and thick, just like that. A big, thick piece of tomato. Perfect, like that. Now I'm just going to do 3 to show for you today, but of course you can do more, as many as you like. This would be an absolute great summer starter. So first thing with any basic dredging station, you want to go in with the flour first, and the flour is going to make sure that the egg sticks, and then the egg's going to make sure that whatever you're breading it with, and today it's going to be cornmeal sticks. So quickly get my tomato into my seasoned flour. I want it to be seasoned because tomatoes are very bland. The first thing to hit the tomato is going to be the seasoned flour. Next, I'm going to go in with my egg, just like that, and keep an eye on my oil and my butter. Get it all covered so that the flour is completely covered with the egg, and then into my cornmeal. You can push down on it if you want, just to make sure that it gets all that cornmeal up. It's very pretty. Cornmeal is going to give it a really nice texture and crunch. So down straight into my oil and my butter, and you can see it's already sizzling up. Now I'm going to move on to the next one. Again, into my seasoned flour. Really nice here. Get a generous coating of that seasoned flour. Back down into my egg. I have cement fingers going on here now. And then down into my beautiful crunchy cornmeal. So get that down just like that. Perfect. And into the pan. Now this one's going really quickly, so I'm actually just going to do 2 for you here today. Let me just get this concrete off my hands, and I'll be right back. Okay, and now you can see these are moving really quickly. What I want to do is just check and see that they're not burning. So try and get that up there. Come on. Perfect. And I'm going to turn it right now because it's brown. Beautiful golden brown, crispy, lovely. Look at that. No time at all, super fast. This pan is super hot, so I'm going to turn it off right now, and the residual heat is going to keep it cooking while I move on to my next little topping. I'm going to use yogurt and a nice Chipotle Tabasco sauce. Super simple, super fast, and it's going to be a nice creamy topping and addition for these tomatoes. So just a little bit of my set Greek yogurt. Bring that bowl up into the middle, and some nice Chipotle Tabasco. It's so nice and smoky, and it's going to be delicious on top of this. Just give that a little tiny whisk, and you can see it has the nice pepper flakes, Chipotle bits. It smells absolutely delicious. And instead of just having a nice creme fraiche like some people use for tomatoes, this is your own addition. Greek yogurt, I tend to be using that a lot lately. I just like it. It's nice and sour, and it's nice and rich and thick. So perfect. You can still hear that the tomatoes are going in that pan because it was super hot. So that's done. Perfect. And now I'm just going to get my beautiful fried tomatoes onto a pretty little plate. Let me just wipe my board. Lovely. And there you have nice color plate. You can use whatever type of plate you like. I think because the tomatoes are a little bit bland with this cornmeal, it's kind of nice to put something that has a little bit of a splatter or backdrop. There's a pretty tomato, one tomato, listen to that. It's so nice and crispy, and there's a little bit of butter. Now, as these are still hot, I want to go in and top it with a nice smoked sea salt. Just a couple of these really nice flakes. It's going to add to that flavor. And again, we have a really nice smoky chipotle Greek yogurt mixture here. So I'm going to just dollop a little bit of that onto the top of my beautiful fried tomatoes, and you can see how well they held up. I mean, you really don't need to go out and find those green tomatoes. If you can't find them, just get a nice unripened tomato and it will do magic as well. So there's a nice little summer appetizer. This would be great if you had some girlfriends coming along. It'd be great with a glass of Chardonnay or whatever you prefer. Just a little sprinkle of some nice basil leaves down on top of that, just like that. And this was a great little appetizer. I'm gonna tuck into this now and enjoy this on my own. I hope that you give my fried tomatoes a try. Enjoy.